go at the center position. McGee's back in their normal rotation. Of course, LeBron James, Anthony Davis leading the way, and Murray and Jokic, two dynamic duos for each team. Both coaches saying they hope to get 60 points out of these guys in all these games. We're finally ready to roll here in the Western Conference Finals. Denver controls the opening tip, and away we go. Well, Denver with back-to-back Game 7 victories to advance to this conference finals. They took the long way here as Jokic, and it's blocked by McGee, and that'll stay in the possession of Denver. They get that two-day window off, playing now on their third day. But guys, the Lakers winning in 5 in both of their series against Portland and Houston, and did it in dominant style. Look at McGee on the floor already. Here comes LeBron James. And it is Grant who fights it off from Anthony Davis, and it's Grant who scores the first bucket of this Western Conference Finals.
How about Denver already? We talked about the others in the open, and you're going to see Grant have the most difficult job in the NBA for the next couple of nights, and that's trying to get in front of LeBron James, but also get easy opportunities.
Danny Green, little runner in the lane.
Danny Green and his shooting, very surprising, because during the restart in the seeding games, didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but has found his stroke at the start of these two playoff rounds.
Denver arriving here. The future is playing right now for them. They've been building towards this homegrown talent. And a good run last year, losing in 7 to Portland in the second round. Now they've made it to the Western Conference Finals. First time Denver, their franchise, has been at this level since 2009. That was also against the Lakers. Here's LeBron James. No, Jokic pulls it off the glass.
But already the Lakers, 3 possessions, 3 times attacking that paint area.
Anything to the Lakers losing in Game 1 in both of their series. That's going to be a foul on Danny Green as he grabs Jokic.
I think what I would take from that, Reg, whether they lost concentration the first game or not, that they finished the job. So I think that the biggest thing about the Lakers to me is their concentration and attention to detail.
Well, also, too, they had layoffs going into each of those first games. Now they had another layoff getting ready for the conference finals. We have to see if they keep that intensity level up.
Going to be a foul on McGee here. Lakers have had 6 days off. They eliminated Houston last Saturday. And Frank Vogel telling us they've been trying to mimic this every other day routine that they've had here in the bubble. So they've been going live every other day to prepare for this matchup, thinking all along the better chance to face the Clippers, who had a 3-1 advantage over Denver. But a last bit of a run for the Nuggets to come back from 3-1 down to earn their way to the Western Conference Finals. And I'm sure that sent the scouts back to the scouting reports. Anthony Davis gets a friendly bounce, gets it to go. His first basket of the night.
They're loving the game plan here for the Lakers. We're not going to settle for any outside shots. We are going to beat you in the paint. They were number 2 in terms of paint points during the regular season, about 52 a game.
Collision down underneath, away from the ball.
And so many defensive styles you're going to see by Coach Michael Malone and his Denver team there. LeBron gets blitzed. Murray has to check AD, and you just heard Reggie Miller say the Lakers are trying to get into the paint, and right there, that's the way you cut to the basket, try to get a foul on the big fella.
Pickup number 2 on JaVale McGee now. So that was a big question coming in. The Lakers went small against the Houston Rockets, and it was very effective. Typically, Markieff Morris in that small role. McGee and Howard hardly played as Jokic misfires. Jokic, and that's going to be LeBron to pull it down. Lakers want to move whenever they can. Nice pass. Kentavious Caldwell Pope hits a 3. Beautiful setup by LeBron James.
And this is what Michael Malone was worried about. Transition and fast break opportunities for the Lakers.
Inside to Jokic. Figure McGee, a lot of Dwight Howard tonight, as Jokic puts a little English on that one to score.
Yeah, he had to. Right now he's 1 for 4. Or he's 0 for 3 against the defense of JaVale McGee, and It's going to be up to him all night to stay aggressive on both ends of the floor.
Danny Green, little runner, no. And Paul Millsap rips down the board. How about Millsap here? He's the only Nugget with conference finals experience. This very young team just continuing to put stakes in the ground. LeBron all the way in with the reverse. Nice finish by James.
Creating offense from your defense. Poor turnover by Millsap. LeBron James off to the races.
Murray, a little hesitation, gets by McGee, goes to the reverse. No, and Jokic there to clean it up.
And that's how Jokic is going to have to get his points. You know he can score one-on-one, but Reg, when you get those easy points to put back, you put pressure on the other team, and you can kind of keep your win by not exerting so much energy.
Millsap checks Anthony Davis to start it here. Davis gets to the middle, nice pass, Green wide open. Good passing by the Lakers.
8 of the 11 points for the Lakers coming in that paint area.
How about 5 assists for the Lakers with 5 made field goals as Jokic gets all the way in. He's asking for a foul. Scott Foster, Tony Brothers, Courtney Kirkland are 3 officials on the floor. Sean Corbin is the alternate. Curtis Blair and Ben Taylor in the replay center. Millsap on Davis. Davis, nice finish.
That's not fair. I mean, you've got height, you've got length. It doesn't matter who the Nuggets are going to match up with on Anthony Davis. He's going to use that skill set to his favor.
Murray goes quick, and he's met at the rim by McGee. Some shoving there.
How historic it is, the fact that the Denver Nuggets overcame a 3-1 deficit twice in one postseason, becoming the first team to do so. But we haven't talked about what that means physically for them. They have had a game every other day since August 17th, so officially over a month stretch right now. They haven't had a day to have a real practice since the playoffs began. Yesterday, they got to do that for the very first time. They said they almost didn't know how to practice. But despite all of the games, both Nikola Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. told me that this team is not tired. The Lakers, on the other hand, 4 days off leading into the playoffs, 5 days in between the first and second rounds, now 5 days before this game. And I throw it to you, Chris, and Reggie, as players, which is better, or does it depend on the team?
You know, Reg, I think it depends on the stage in your career. So if I'm LeBron, I need 4 days off, and you don't want to see a rested LeBron. You don't want to. But then again, good coaching, you keep that same schedule, that same cadence for your team, Reg.
And if I'm Jamal Murray and Jokic, when's our next game? When's our next practice? How high do you want me to jump, Coach?
Got those young legs. Jokic is 25, Murray's 23. The only guy over 30 on the Nuggets team is Paul Millsap, so you can use it to your advantage both ways. And both coaches talked about just that leading up to this game 1 tonight. LeBron, skip pass all the way to the Laker bench, and a turnover for LeBron James. Got some foul trouble here early for the Lakers. They have 4 fouls. They've been passing it well in this early going.
That's what Michael Malone defensively wanted to see on LeBron James, Chris, building that wall.
Murray finds Millsap left wide open, and he knocks it down.
That's what you want to see from the veteran, Reg, and to continue your point for the fans out there, you know the wall because of Antetokounmpo. That means 4 or 5 guys getting in the vision. The only problem is when you build the wall with LeBron, he's such a great passer, he usually makes the best decision finding the open man.
By the way, congratulations to Giannis, 2nd consecutive MVP. He's got a foul underneath. And you wonder what kind of motivation that'll be for LeBron James.
And this is what Paul Millsap is going to have to do throughout this series. Game 5 and Game 7 versus the Clippers, the veteran was spectacular. He really carried this young team. He's got to have that consistency during this conference final versus the Lakers if the Nuggets want to come out on top.
And Davis knocks down the first free throw. By the way, that replay brought to you by the AT&T 5G above the rim. As Alex Caruso checks in for Los Angeles, McGee will sit. Couple of fouls. Glad to be part of the rotation once again because the bigs for the Lakers, Howard and McGee, did not play much against the Houston Rockets in the small ball.
And just look at the different lineups that this team has, and we'll see that in the 4th quarter. So now AD goes to center. What problem does that cause? That means Jokic has to guard him consistently in the pick and roll, and vice versa. He has to guard Jokic.
Jamal Murray working on the screen for Millsap. Gets in the lane. Boy, nice little side step. Right-handed scoop from Jamal Murray. Shifty in there.
How great has his game expanded throughout these playoffs. This is a guy that didn't even have a 40-point game throughout the regular season, and already he's had 2 50-point games.
He's had 4 40-plus point games in this postseason as Davis is crunched in the lane.
Look at the side swipe here. Just right around Caruso, off the glass, and I'm quite sure, was this foul on Jokic right here? A lot of contact.
Called on Jokic. He immediately put his hands up. So Davis back to the line, sees clutching at his left wrist. Denver started 1 for 4 from the field. They've made 5 of their last 6, and now we're tied at 15 with Davis and his second trip to the free throw line. A reminder tonight from the NBA bubble, the NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by the first ever K5 from Kia, official automotive partner of the NBA, and by Auto Trader, the only one with Kelley Blue Book. Finally, it's easy. Great to have you with us tonight on a Friday night. Game 1 of this Western Conference Finals.
What a nice start here for Anthony Davis in this first quarter. 8 of the 17 Lakers points, very efficient from the free throw line, 4 of 4, 2 of 3 from the field.
See LeBron James, his normal rest. Typically see him back late in this first quarter. Murray with Kuzma on him. Here's Jokic now. Davis guards him. Jokic spins. Davis right with him. And a nice lead for Monte Morris.
That's what Denver is going to do. They're cutting. They're getting to the hole. And on the reverse side, what about Kuzma making sure they push the ball up? And that's the presence of Rondo on the floor. Reggie, I'm really interested to see. I know the Lakers have played against the best guards in the league so far, but Murray off that pick and roll is so hard to stop.
Millsap backs Kuzma down. And Kuzma with a board. Here come the Lakers in transition. Davis out in front. Kuzma will pull it back. Caldwell Pope fires a 3. Nope. Into the hands of Caruso. Second chance opportunity here for LA. Nice lead, and KCP with a finish. Boy, Rondo has made such an impact on this Laker team. Next, LeBron appearing in his 11th conference finals appearance, 9 of the last 10 finals, and of course those 3 championships. But it all feels a little bit different here, doesn't it, guys? We are still in the bubble, and for the Denver Nuggets, they don't have much playoff experience outside the last 2 years. It feels like the normal floor, the normal setting for them, you would think.
Yeah, there's no home court advantage in this again. Right now, the home teams are just 30 and 38, so you really see it's no advantage. And I just think, Reg, it's no excuses. It's nothing to hide behind. Hooper's just coming out and hooping.
Yeah, but to be fair, you could have put that resume up of LeBron James versus about 25, 26 teams, and it would have been the same thing.
Oh, nice leave. Anthony Davis on the receiving end once again. Rondo and Davis are a great combination with the lobs. And they've connected many times in that Houston series, and they get a connection here. Rondo's already had 2 nice setups thus far. Caruso checking Monte Morris. Jokic gives it right back to him, gets the switch. And now Jokic has Caruso on him and a foul. Jokic will go to the line. Smart basketball by the Nuggets.
Yeah, and a smart pass right there. All you have to do is raise your eyebrows, make eye contact with your point guard, take a step up, and with all your might, take that spin, go up and get a great pass by the point guard.
I like that. Raise the eyebrows, and the guy on the receiving end just raises the eyebrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How about that? Okay. He raised it.
The brows to the brow.
Exactly.
Plural to singular. And Jokic knocks down the first. Hey, a reminder, you can get more action on FanDuel and look for the final basket bonus during the NBA playoffs. FanDuel gives you more ways to win with sports betting, daily fantasy, and free-to-play games.
This Laker team has gone to a different level. Starting in the second round once Rondo's gotten back. I just think his veteran presence and taking the ball out of LeBron's hands as KCP raises up for a 3 and knocks it down.
Now he's had a good start. Second made three-pointer for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Lakers have made 7 of their last 8 shots. Murray with Davis on him, trying to get the ball into Jokic. Double team comes right to Craig, and he's fouled. Well, Jokic is just fascinating to watch. And I'm so glad, Reggie, we have Chris Webber here with a big man who can pass, and we can bounce all of this off C-Web.
You know, everyone's, talking about Jokic being the best passing big man maybe ever. They forgot about our partner here, the guy to my right being one of the all-time great passers as well. Everyone's saying Sabonis, Vlade Divac, Bill Walton. No mention of my guy, Chris Webber. You started this all, my friend.
Thank you, Reg. But I learned a lot from those guys, and I'm a big fan of Jokic because of his passing. I really feel that what has made LeBron great is his passing ability. What is better? He can score with the best of them and pass with the best of them. But Jokic, how can you play his team when he makes every single player on his team important with his passing ability?
Caruso goes to the rack, is fouled. Free throws for Caruso. And just back to Jokic for a moment, coming off that Game 7. He's already had some terrific Game 7s, triple-doubles and whatnot. He had a 22-rebound triple-double in Game 7. 16 points, 22 boards, 13 assists. And I think the key stat with both LeBron and Jokic is points created. And that's something we'll be tracking this entire series because it's not just about the points or just about the assists. Caruso knocks down the first free throw. Gives us a chance to remind you that a whole new game is meeting a whole new experience with Michelob Ultra. Tweet hashtag Ultra Courtside with hashtag sweepstakes for a chance to win tickets.
And BA, you talk about points created from those two players. Remember, the ball's going to be in those two guys' hands, Jokic and LeBron, 75–80% of the time. They run their offense. Here's again, Jokic.
Ooh, Jokic, quick rip through of Davis, gets all the way to the basket.
And that's against an elite defender.
Yeah, who said he didn't have any speed? And my thing, you can be quick or fast. And right there, great quick move by Jokic.
Yeah, now Davis trying to return the favor. Little runner, no good. High for the rebound. Michael Porter Jr. could be an X factor in this series. He's starting to put roots in the ground with every playoff game as Murray goes all the way in, untouched. Michael Porter Jr., the rookie, and starting to play better defense. They like what they've seen from him. That's off the foot. Looked like Rondo, but they're going to say off Denver. And that'll be Laker ball. And now LeBron James will re-enter the game. 2:12 remaining in this first quarter. And that's going to mean a response from Michael Malone as Jeremy Grant will return.
How about the chess match that's going to be going on here between Frank Vogel and Michael Malone as well. Always wanting to keep size and length on LeBron. As soon as he checks in, here comes Jeremy Grant.
As unwilling as Anthony Davis is throughout the regular season to play the 5, that's when the Lakers are at their best, Chris. And that's where they're going to be when it matters most in crunch time. That's where they are right now. Kuzma, a little pull-up, gets a friendly bounce. Lakers by 4, Nuggets with the ball under 2 minutes to go in this first quarter of Game 1. Jokic, a bullet pass to Torrey Craig. Got deep on Caruso.
He is so good. His vision, man. His vision is on.
Oh, Davis trying to keep it alive into the hands of Porter. Monte Morris, backup point guard, dumps it into Jokic. Got Kuzma on him. Just bullies his way in, spins out of the double team, and the putback by Jokic got his own miss.
I love the fact that Jokic is seeing the double team, going baseline and scoring because he's giving you a steady dose of I'm going to pass it, I'm going to shoot it. And later in the fourth quarter, just that mental play wears down on the defense.
Rondo, and it was blocked by Jokic, out of bounds, Laker ball.
And this is what I mean. What is he going to do right here? You don't know. The double coming, and he passes it. But I love the fact, okay, now you don't know. Watch Caruso come. I'm going baseline. Hit you with this jump hook. I missed it. Follow my own shot.
He'll get his first breather. What a start for Nikola Jokic in his first conference finals. Jokic with 11 points, 11 minutes, had 3 rebounds, a couple of assists, and a block.
So what you're saying is that he's on triple-double pace.
Yeah, already. Nobody like him, right? Nobody like him.
What a start for this guy, though, as well. Anthony Davis, first-team All-NBA, along with LeBron James as a tandem. Double figures tonight with 10, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists himself.
First team all defense, second in the Defensive Player of the Year voting, and of course first team all NBA, as Reggie mentioned. Incredible season in his first year as a Laker with LeBron. Hey, a reminder that today is National Black Voter Day, and voters are already casting ballots in some states. Text VOTE 69866 or visit reclaimyourvote.org to get registered today. And we certainly want to send our condolences to the family and friends of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Supreme Court Justice passed away today at 87. A hero, a real hero, one of the most influential women in our nation's history. That is a big loss in our country. So vote for Ruth. Murray, little scoop, no. And Davis with the rebound. And it's swiped away by Murray. And Davis runs over Michael Porter Jr. He'll pick up the foul. Active hands by the Nuggets, trying to disrupt that Laker transition.
Talked about the growth of Murray on both ends of the floor. And right there, just a little bit about it. He knows they have to. Coach Michael Malone talked about it before the game, how stopping the transition points of the Lakers so important right there. Great defense by Murray.
Chance to tie it up here for the Nuggets with Michael Porter Jr. First time in the playoffs, the rookie out of Mizzou. First rounder in 2018, had 2 back surgeries. He only played in 3 games at Missouri. It's just been such a wild card the last couple of years, but he looks like he's finally starting to find his way.
See how good was he in the seed-in games? He was part of that all seed-in first team. Huge numbers, was in the starting lineup then.
Reggie, I mean, you don't want to predict, but his upside, oh my goodness, it looks like he's going to be around for a long time with his skill set and the beautiful step back jumper by AD over Plumlee.
Davis stacking him up early tonight. 14 points already on 4 of 6 shooting. He's made 6 free throws. Grant sticks a 3. Good answer on the other end by Jeremy Grant.
What a start offensively for both of these teams. You got the Lakers shooting 57%, and you've got the Nuggets at 62.
Here's LeBron. Grant will draw LeBron James duty. Nice pass. Kuzma. The scoop is in.
Can't stop and watch. Everyone thought LeBron was going to go to his patented stutter step, spin move, and just with the cutter comes. I mean, so aware. Great pass.
LeBron only with 2 points, but he's got 4 assists already. Davis guarding Murray, gets up a quick shot at the buzzer. Stick it, it's good. Jamal Murray for 3 as we take it to the end of the first quarter.
We saw JaVale McGee at first on Nikola, then we saw Anthony Davis. They brought the double teams. He's used to seeing that. How critical was the off-ball movement to your success in the first quarter offensively?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, if they're going to put you on the ball, somebody's open. So make sure we have proper spacing and we react to the double team, make ourselves available to the ball. But we knew going in, Ali, that it's going to be transition defense to not do a good enough job in that quarter, and then living in our paint. We have to do a much better job of making them beat us from the perimeter.
Defensively, what kind of shots do you want to force in the second quarter?
3-point shots, perimeter shots with the late contest, but Kyle Kuzma cutting behind us, them outrunning us in transition. They're scoring too easy right now. We're not going to outscore this team over 4 quarters. We have to find a way to make it stand defensively.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, Michael Malone is not going to be happy with that. He's just telling Ali about points in the paint, and first possession of this second quarter, Caruso gets all the way to the cup for the and one.
Yeah, and when you play against the favorites or the higher seed, and they really have earned it like the Lakers have, you can't take any plays off. Each play is so critical right now. You got to build that wall and stop penetration.
Here's Murray for 3. Rattles in and out. LeBron James a rebound. Every opposing coach that plays the Lakers wants to try to make them shoot to win. That is one of the weak spots as LeBron James goes down.
He may have tweaked an ankle on that move right there. Stepped on the foot of Jeremy Grant. See him trying to tie that left shoe. But just a little rollover of the ankle here by LeBron James. Here's the move. Yep,
Ooh, right on that
there.
foot.
That left foot right on the foot of Jeremy Grant.
We were talking today just about the greatness of LeBron James, how hard he works, his work ethic, how he's improved. And one of his best skill sets is availability, Reg, because this man, I mean, he's a warrior.
Durable.
Yes.
Durable.
Amazing how he just cinched up the shoes and says, let's go, back on the free throw line. Certainly a scare on that Lakers sideline.
Well, that's something to watch throughout this series as well, because right now adrenaline is pumping through his veins right now, so he's not feeling much. But in timeouts and when he goes to the bench and at halftime, can stiffen up a little bit.
And how will it affect their transition game? Usually he gets the rebound and leads the break for this team.
Well, it's biting him. He's wincing after every shot. LeBron James will keep an eye on him here. 2-point Laker lead just underway here in the second quarter. Monte Morris dumps it inside. Plumlee. Markieff Morris on the floor for the first time, and he immediately fouls Plumlee.
Both teams playing well right now, but I don't know about the defense, Reg. When both teams come out shooting 60% from the field early, a lot of easy layups, a lot of team ball by Denver.
Morris searching, finds Porter, lost it in the air. Let's see if that was touched by a Laker or not. It was. It'll stay Denver ball, just 3 on the shot clock here.
Watch the back screen by a shooter or the handoff to the inbounds man.
Grant gets it off in time. 3-pointer, no. And Porter with the foul. Kuzma hit the deck. First foul on Porter Jr. Already 3 team fouls for the Denver Nuggets here in this second quarter. Just keeping an eye on LeBron James. Looks like he's moving okay right now, especially side to side. Working the 2-man game with Caruso. Good pass, and James hammers one home.
I would say he's okay, right?
Adrenaline?
Is that still adrenaline?
Okay, we don't have to check him after every play.
Well, hey.
Averaging nearly 26 a game. Reggie didn't get his feelings hurt there. We didn't give him the assist package.
No, but there'll be a 3-point package coming up here any minute.
We'll let Chris do that one too. 12 assists on the 15 makes. As C-Web mentioned, Lakers out in front by 4, and Markieff Morris hits a 3-pointer.
Well, on cue, talking about 3-pointers, the Lakers are not a great 3-point shooting team, but they know in this series that they're going to have to stay within striking distance of the Nuggets. Thus far, even at that 3-point line.
So that's 13 gives now on the 16 makes. Rondo's got 4 assists to go along with LeBron's 4. Jokic and Harris back on the floor, and Dwight Howard on the floor for the first time. This should be an interesting matchup between these two.
Yeah, I think this matchup is going to be the telltale matchup of it being that AD will not maybe check the Joker that much until late in the game. So let's just remember what Dwight Howard has done on the defensive end, and one of the best big men still at moving laterally without fouling.
Here's Porter for 3. Nope, back iron, and there's James who falls down. He and Rondo collide. Rondo patient. Oh, a little sidestep there. Missed with the right hand. Howard keeps it alive. Porter hits the deck, keeps his dribble going. Wow, nice play there to secure the possession. Nuggets down 7. Have the lead at the end of 1 after a 3-pointer.
Oh my goodness.
Boy, Markieff Morris straight down on Monte Morris.
He's okay. He's in Pelican Bay doing push-ups. Okay. He is all right. Look at Monte Morris goes into the body of Morris.
Yikes.
And Markieff Morris here.
Oof.
How about Monte, you know, BA, since he was inserted into that lineup, I mean, just such a momentum changer, just like what Rondo did for the Lakers in that series.
That was a lineup change for Game 4 against the Utah series in round 1. Grant and Morris went into the starting lineup. Torrey Craig and Michael Porter Jr. went to the bench. And Michael Malone has no intention of changing that. He likes all that it produces. He likes Morris. He likes the fact that It gets Porter Jr. on the floor a bit with Plumlee as well. There's a lot of matchups Malone likes with this.
Plus, Porter Jr. is the first option offensively with that second unit. More important.
Caruso. Good pass. LeBron shovels one over to Morris. Does he got the hot hand? He'll fire it. And he'll hit it. 2 threes for Markieff Morris in this second quarter.
Yeah, but what an unselfish play there by LeBron James. He could have pulled up for a shot, but recognized his teammate had a better look.
Denver has scored 1 point in this quarter. Now a turnover for the Nuggets. James leaves it up top. Howard can't finish it. A foul on the play. The second quarter, the Lakers have outscored the Nuggets 12-1 here at the 8:48 mark.
LeBron is just doing it all. Reggie, you just mentioned the unselfishness, the great pump fake by one of your toughest players on the team. Morris, he knocks down the pump fake and step-in jumper.
So Dwight Howard at the free throw line. Howard in these playoffs just 10 for 19 from the line.
Why'd you jinx him?
10 for 20. I'm just reading the facts, Reg. I will tell you, though, the NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Mountain Dew, official sponsor of the NBA, and by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I forgot how froggy Reggie Miller can be. I haven't worked. You and I had a good thing going, Chris. Now Reggie's
about superstition here.
Mr. Stir the Pot himself.
Man.
Don't tell the man stats. We know he's a bad free throw shooter.
Gives it up, Jokic, and he's met by Green. Nice block by Danny Green. Howard was there as well. And Howard got a piece of that. Man, Howard already making an impact defensively. They reset the full shot clock there. Scott Foster.
Because it was a controlled tip by Dwight Howard. That's why it was a reset on that 24-second clock.
This is what I mean. Dwight Howard, not as athletic as he once was, but still more athletic than most big men in the league. And laterally he can move. And when he's defending and not fouling like on that possession, so valuable on both ends of the floor.
Well, just think how many fouls Howard, McGee can give if you're going to go small anyway if you're the Lakers with AD at the 5 in a close game. It's going to put a lot of body work on Jokic. Harris runs into a wall into Dwight. Now a bad pass. Another turnover. Here comes Caruso. He's got LeBron James right there. The lob to LeBron.
And if you're Michael Malone, you cannot be happy with the turnovers. Easy transition buckets here for the Lakers.
Biggest lead for the Lakers. And that one's going the other way. Jokic with the foul.
You know, BA, that before that play, they started wrestling a little bit. And I'm not saying Jokic is frustrated, but he's getting more aggressive. And, yeah, I think the ankle is a non-factor. And right here, we start to see a little bit of this. And Frank Vogel talked about this. He said, listen, Dwight's going to wrestle and wear him down and try to be physical with him. And that's what he does on that play.
See if LeBron and the Lakers can take advantage once again. Shot clock down to 6. Here goes James. Strong all the way in off the glass.
Way too easy. Too strong. Too gifted. The smaller Gary Harris, who's a really good defender, just outsized versus LeBron James. And another turnover offensive foul by the Denver Nuggets.
That is the 6th turnover of this quarter, while the Nuggets are 0 for 5 shooting in this quarter, and it's 16-1 Lakers here in the second.
And if you're Jokic, you got to try to block that shot. And this is the thing about physical defenders. If the ref doesn't call, you get frustrated, you get upset. Right now, Coach Michael Malone taking up for his player, but Coach Malone's doing a great job, but Jokic is just going to have to come out and fight force with force.
It's one of the biggest concerns Michael Malone and the Nuggets had with Nikola Jokic is foul trouble, and he's in it now with 3. To the bench he goes with 7:15 remaining in the second quarter. Now another foul on the Nuggets.
And right now you're down by 13 with 7 minutes left in this second quarter. And if you're Michael Malone with those 3 fouls to Jokic, you're wondering, does he even come back at the end of this second quarter at all? You don't want to risk him picking up a 4th.
I agree with you, Reggie. And yes, we know this team has come back in 6 games in which they could have gone home. But right now, you just don't want to waste it. We know you come back from double-digit leads, but I agree, you got to sit the big man down for the second half.
At the end of the first quarter, the Nuggets got a three-pointer.
Michael Malone is hot. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a technical yet.
Fish grease
making his way there. It was 38-36 at the end of one after that Murray three-pointer. Denver has 1 point. Have not made a field goal here. They're 0 for 5 in the second.
Look at this defense.
Murray just being hounded. And now a whistle got a technical. And that's going to be on Murray.
Frustration's clearly starting to set in here by this young Denver Nuggets team.
Yes. And usually it's because it's 20,000 screaming fans at Staples. This is just happening in this gym, and it's because of the frustration, the defense of the Lakers.
He is barking up the wrong tree right there. And Scott Foster, now in his 26th season, this is his 200th playoff game he has officiated.
Look at half court. You've got Dwight Howard in the middle of the Nuggets camp there, creating a little scene. This is the veteran presence that you have on this Laker team.
And you just love it, huh, Reg?
Oh, this is
like
great.
It, right?
See, look what we're talking about. He's getting pushed out here.
I don't have to move. I don't have to. I'm just standing here.
Oh, I mean, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great.
What does that mean?
It's a good lip reading, too, there, Chris. Way to clean it up.
Because Chris has been there.
Here goes Harris. Oh, denied by Howard. Wow.
And had words for Gary Harris.
Stepping all over the Nuggets after that one.
Hey, C-Webb, there were two guys that were doing cartwheels when they found out that the Denver Nuggets upset the LA Clippers.
Who?
JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. Because they were non-existent in that Houston series because they had to play small.
Right. They say, Coach, you got to play us now.
Plumlee to spin, and he shakes Howard a two-handed jam. Plumlee goes strong right there. Nuggets desperately needed that. That's the first field goal of the second quarter.
Yeah, but Plumlee had words for Danny Green. Just a minute ago, it was Dwight Howard having words for Gary Harris on that block. I'm already loving how this series is shaping up, guys.
12-point Laker lead. 6.5 to go in the second. LeBron trying to turn the corner, just plows through Murray, and it's going to be a block.
Look at LeBron.
Murray's looking like, what am I supposed to do on this play? I tried to get position. I'm a little late, but I'm not that strong. And look at that.
Take him off the blocks right there.
But look at LeBron's reaction. See, the rest of your teammates, they feed off of this. Having your best player be this animated.
They're going to look at it. Going to review a potential and-one situation here for LeBron. We'll clean it up when we come back.
Speak with him before the game. These are his two worries. Points in the paint, which the Lakers have 26 right now, and fast break points created from the Lakers defense.
See the numbers on LeBron James. He missed his first 2 field goals. He's made 5 in a row since. And he caps off a 3-point play and showing no ill effects of a rolled left ankle. He's already had 2 dunks, big ones at the rim. Lakers are 7 for 8 from the field in this quarter. It is 20-3 Lakers in this quarter. Nuggets are 1 out of 7. That's a long 2. It's in for Jamal Murray. Just 5 points for Denver. Plumlee and Murray with the baskets in this second quarter. Murray's got 11 with 4 assists. Here's James now. Jeremy Grant is on him, and James will pull it. Short. Millsap's got it.
Pace. Denver has to get some pace in their game, get that ball moving on a couple of stops, fast breaks, but more importantly, don't turn it over.
And Morris with the steal. Another Denver turnover. Danny Green lines it up, and Green, no. Howard out to Murray. Denver trying to get on a run here. Final 5.5 of this quarter. That one's front iron. Missed by Harris, and there's Dwight Howard. And he is fouled hard. Take a look at the upcoming conference finals schedule on ESPN and TNT. ESPN tomorrow. It'll be Game 3. Celtics Heat. That is 2-0 Miami. 8:30 Eastern is start time for that. And then Sunday, we're back at it for Game 2. Denver, Los Angeles. And we'll see where we end up there. But how about the Miami Heat, gentlemen? Man, what an impressive start to their finals appearance.
Jimmy Butler, been fantastic. Bam Bam, unbelievable. Will people start talking about Goran Dragic The Dragon, please.
His grandma called him Gogi. He's a bad man. I'm fans of all those guys. Let's get to all of those.
Wow.
Hey, Rich, how do you like their three-point shooting?
Oh,
they let it fly like the man next to me.
Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson.
Hero, Robinson.
But it's equal opportunity offense.
Oh, yeah.
There's no true superstar. Everyone does it by committee.
Yeah.
They're very unselfish. They're well coached by Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling the Celtics aren't out of it yet. I know they had that little dust up after the game with Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
Maybe that can rally them, Chris.
I mean, that's true. And let me just give Crowder a shout out. I mean, so many guys, like you said, have showed up on the defense and offensive end.
Anytime you're getting the Marquette guys in there, you're doing a good job.
I know you would say that. Yeah.
Here's Murray trying to get by Danny Green. He's right there with him, step for step. Puts him into a tough shot, but he knocks it down. Jamal Murray hits it. He's got 13 now. Quickly back the other way go the Lakers. Green pounds his way inside. There's Millsap with the rebound. Back and forth they go. Denver having a tough time keeping LA out of the paint. Howard may have got a piece of that, certainly disrupted it. Rondo with his head up. Controls the pace so well, doesn't he? Here's Davis now, and he's fouled. Anthony Davis will go to the line.
Guys, what a beautiful entry pass there by Rondo.
Yeah.
I mean, pinpoint to find Anthony Davis. Rondo has always been one of my favorite players back to his Boston Celtics days. The guy has an endless motor and commands respect at both ends of the floor.
We think about Rondo and Dwight Howard, what they bring in the playoffs here. Check in with Allie. She's got more on Dwight Howard. What do you have, Allie?
We've seen him really affect this game, even in the smallest ways, deflections and rebounds, and you have to give him credit for just how mentally focused he stayed. Last series when he didn't play against Houston because the Lakers decided to go small, it was actually the first time all season that he recorded a do not play coach's decision in the biggest moment in the playoffs. When you give your whole self to a team, that's hard for any player to take, but he knew his role on this team to be ready when his name is called. He continued to play 5-on-5, and his teammates raved about the teammate he was and how engaged and active in the game he was, even though he knew he wasn't going to get it even for a minute, and now it's paying off.
Well, you think about it, Allie, the sacrifice or the decision, I should say, that he made in the beginning of the year to play on this team without a guaranteed contract, saying, I'm going to prove to you guys who I am, and I'm happy to be back. So that doesn't surprise me as much because of the move that he made this summer, being a great teammate.
Murray able to draw the foul. I thought that was one of the great visuals from the Rocket series with the Lakers when Howard and McGee, you know they're out, but watching them on the sideline, it was infectious over there. There's no crowd here.
Right.
There are no fans, so you're relying on your teammates for that feedback, and both of those guys were all in, even though they knew they weren't going to play much.
Well, and also, too, you got to understand, this may have been the last stop for Dwight Howard. A few other places where he had been, he almost had a foot out the door because in situations where he wasn't getting that playing time, he wasn't that great in the locker room. But here, he's trying to buy in because this could be his last great opportunity to win a championship.
16th year for Dwight Howard. Played in just 9 games last year, had back surgery. Murray has scored the last 6 Denver points. It has been a mess for the Nuggets in this quarter. Includes 10 personal fouls. They've had 7 turnovers as well. Davis trying to draw the foul cat out. Here is Millsap.
Well, nice job. If they can get this under 10 by the end of this half without Jokic being on the floor with those 3 fouls, this is a win for Michael Malone.
Millsap's got Rondo on him, takes him inside, no contest. 11-point game. Jokic sits with those 3 fouls, and now a whistle on the Nuggets underneath. Dwight Howard was running the floor.
And this is just a veteran move right here. Millsap understands his team hasn't been scoring, and most big fellas that high will let the little fella off the hook. He just takes it in and tries to post up, and on the other end, Murray getting that 3rd foul, just not a good play when you need him in the game, and the Joker already sitting on the side with 3.
Right, 2 stars for the Nuggets, both with 3 first-half fouls. Yep, Murray trying to
impeding progress.
Yeah, why?
So now 3 fouls on your 2 main guys here. But this is why the Nuggets have been so successful during the regular season, and then in the restart here is the depth. Remember, when they got down here to Orlando, they only had 8 or 9 healthy bodies. They didn't even have enough to scrimmage. So relying on this young talent.
And how about the trust of Coach Michael Malone during those times, maybe with the deepest team in the league, but allowing guys to grow up right in front of our eyes.
And now Michael Porter Jr. has to be a little bit more aggressive at the offensive end. 0 of 2, only 2 points for Porter Jr.
Millsap got Howard in the air. He kicks it. Porter Jr. No. It was a good look. Set up nicely by Paul Millsap. Rondo under control. Rondo, long 2 is up, no good. And Howard is fouled. Porter got him. Howard had position. Michael Porter Jr. picks up the foul.
Tell you what, he does those shoulder shrugs for a reason. You know, that's what he does, just to get that size inside. Look at this, both guys in there. But again, not only the athletic ability, him boxing out, and how about AD being on the outside and allowing the big fella to go to work inside.
So free throws for Dwight Howard. Steps about a foot off the line.
NBA. Now that's Paul Millsap's third. So 3 on Millsap, 3 on the Joker, and 3 on Jamal Murray.
Hey, a reminder that Draymond Green will be entering the bubble virtually and interviewing players during the Western Conference Finals with the help of a special 5G holo interview technology. Tune in to NBA on TNT tip-off show to see Media Day with Dre, powered by AT&T 5G. Draymond Green hologram.
How good has Draymond been with those guys in the studio? Fantastic.
Monte Morris up top. Oh, almost tipped in by Plumlee, just short. Coming to the 3-minute mark. Howard running the floor. No, the follow by Davis, and he's fouled. Boy, the Lakers, all that size and all that speed. You look out there at Kuzma and Howard and Davis.
And look at this beautiful pass here by Rondo. And you talked about all this size. Their size can run like guards. You know, when you've got Anthony Davis and Kuzma and Dwight Howard all above 6'10", being able to run like gazelles on the wing.
This is turning into Michael Malone's worst possible scenario with foul trouble. Millsap, Jokic, and Murray. The Lakers getting to the line. Already 25 attempts at the free throw line, 17 in this quarter. Points in the paint in the first quarter. Now, one thing about Denver, and Nuggets fans know this well, they have had the ability to come back from big deficits, even when facing elimination. Double-digit deficits they've been able to come back from. They've had great second halves in this playoff run.
They have, and that's why you have to trust them. But as a basketball fan and an ex-player, I would say you can't rely on that, because that luck is going to run out soon when you run into the right buzzsaw. And the height right now and the defensive prowess of the Lakers would make you think it's a little bit tougher. It will be a little bit tougher tonight than most nights for this team.
Well, Reggie, you mentioned that three-point shooting. It has not been good for the Nuggets. They're just 3 of 10 thus far. Grant's hit one. Murray's got one. He hit one at the end of the quarter. Millsap hit his only try. 2.5 to go in the second quarter. LeBron James gives it. Davis fires it. And there's Grant on the board. Plumlee. Oh, nice cut to the basket by Morris. What a finish.
Beautiful pass there by Plumlee.
Kyle Kuzma on the attack, gets it to go. Wow. Awkward little runner by Kuzma.
See, that basket was on a made layup.
Yes.
See, that can't happen.
Reggie, that's happened about 3 times tonight with them throwing it up to the side.
And they leave Monte Morris wide open. He looked him away, had an easy layup. That's normally a strong suit for the Nuggets. They're excellent getting back. Transition D has not been the case against the speedy Lakers. Lakers up 12. Timeout. Under 2 to go in the second quarter.
He's played with a lot of great players.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm getting ready to ask you. Is Anthony Davis the best teammate LeBron has played with? Now, you mentioned Dwayne Wade, Kyrie Irving, Chris Bosh.
So today, he is not better than Kyrie Irving and he is not better than Dwayne Wade. Why? Because they got that hardware with LeBron. He asked me in about 8 wins if it happens. I'm going to say, oh yeah, most definitely.
So 1 out of 2 for Davis. Lakers have missed 8 free throws this quarter, or else they could have a much bigger lead here. Grant with a flurry of moves draws the foul on Kyle Kuzma. 13-point game, and all this foul trouble with Murray 3 fouls on the bench, Millsap on the bench with 3 fouls, and of course Nikola Jokic as well. So Denver's bench doing a good job hanging in there in the second quarter.
You know, Reg, you talked about Porter not kind of sitting out shooting threes. We know he can knock them down with the best. But doesn't it seem like maybe you get him some action going to the basket, let him use his athletic ability to see the ball go in 1 or 2 times maybe, to try to get him involved, being that he's the main scorer on the bench coming off the bench.
Third leading scorer on this team, and with your 2 main scorers out of this ball game with foul trouble, you can't just rely on 3-point shooting. And you're right, at times you just got to see the ball go through. So maybe get fouled, go to the free throw line, and just see the ball go through the basket.
Kuzma drew the quick double team, lucky to get it back. Shot clock down to 9, under a minute to go. LeBron James at the controls, slips by it, bullet pass. Caldwell poke for 3, no. And it's run down by Monte Morris. That was Plumlee in there stirring it up.
Nuggets hanging around here.
Morris, nice find. Harris for 3, big hit for Denver. Corner 3 is good. And a whistle on the other end. Even after the made basket, the Lakers push it. They get the foul. Don't forget American Express halftime report coming your way in just a moment. Draymond joining the guys in the studio.
Here's another guy that needs to get going offensively here for the Nuggets. Gary Harris. Nice 3 in that short corner for him.
Talk about the play of, talk about Draymond Green being in with the guys at halftime. If you remember last year, during their playoff run, with all the injuries, he turned into a one-man band, pushing it after makes. And when the Denver goes into the locker room, and when they watch film, whether they win or lose, one of the things they're going to talk about is just not getting back in transition, but making sure everybody's aware after a made basket to run and get a stop on the other end.
More free throws for the Lakers. There's Davis. And let's see what the call is here. Officials looking at each other. That'll be Laker ball.
Great activity there by Anthony Davis to create another possession here for the Lakers. Davis now with 5 rebounds to go along with those 17 points.
Really, the only hole right now in the Lakers game is their free throw shooting. Missed a ton of them. That's off the foot of Davis. And let's see here. Tony Brothers conferring with Courtney Kirkland. Look from here. I'm behind 6 panes of glass here, but it looks like it was Anthony. Yeah,
That's Davis.
Okay.
But do they know? Or is this going to be a jump ball here?
Should I tell them?
It's funny because Porter and Plumlee are trying to sneak down to the other end and get a dunk in as if nobody's watching.
All right, they get it together. Scott Foster comes in.
Nice
no replay needed. They come together and get the call right.
That was a good guess on their part.
Did you give them a thumbs up, Reggie?
Maybe they were watching the big board.
Oh, right above us. It does look like they're looking right at us, though, sometimes. Morris with Caruso on him. That was James. Got a swipe down. He's going to be called for the foul.
Let's give Michael Malone and the Nuggets credit here, right? Their 2 best players on the bench with foul trouble, and they found a way just to hang around here in this first half, C-Web.
Yeah, and a lot of times the others, your teammates, they sit and maybe stargaze and watch the 2 stars on their team and the others play. And what has happened is they've been infused into the offense and they've had to pick up the pace.
Well, Michael Malone, he was with LeBron James his first 5 years coaching in Cleveland, starting in 05. Michael Malone is an assistant under Mike Brown, and he credits both LeBron and Mike Brown for his career and his opportunities to be a head coach. First with Sacramento, and now in his 5th year as the head coach of the Denver Nuggets and back-to-back trips to the playoffs.
Well, these Nuggets, they never go away. They continue to play hard The need stops at this end.
James bullies his way in. Going to be a foul
And
on
one.
Grant.
And they're going to count it.
They did count the basket. James, chance at a three-point play here.
Now this is twice LeBron has gotten away with a lot of contact. The first one was on Murray that Michael Malone challenged. And this one here on Jeremy Grant.
LeBron's so smart not extending that left arm, but he doesn't have to because he's so strong. He just bowls you over right there. But this is going to be something that they're going to make sure that the refs notice both the rest of the game tonight and whoever officiates the next few games.
Denver with 20 personal fouls already. Now bucket by LeBron turns into a three-point trip down the floor. It stopped an 8-2 Denver run. 11-point Laker lead. Shot clock is off. Making our way to the end of this first half in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. And here's Porter, long three, misses again. He's 0 for 4, and that'll Lakers had 25 free throw for the third quarter. Moment ago, inside tracks. Let's listen in to Frank Vogel in the locker room.
What is this team in the last few weeks known for? Second half comebacks, being down by 10, 12 points, and making their move in the second half. Our work is not anywhere near finished. We're the aggressor tonight. We're the most aggressive team. We're taking it to them on the crashing, the free throw crashing, driving the basket, rolling hard, all those types of things. We're earning those free throws.
And they have a ton of them. 32 free throw attempts for the Lakers as we get underway here in this third quarter. Denver down 11. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, both had good first halves. Chris, the Denver Nuggets, and Frank Vogel hit on it. They've been a second half team. You see the numbers right there. They've had big comebacks throughout their regular season and the playoffs.
Well, I'll tell you what, my mom's a teacher, and one thing I know is when a teacher asks a question and everybody's engaged, that means it's been a good teacher. And so right there, Frank Vogel brought that point up that no team has had more comebacks from 15 or more than this Denver Nuggets team, Red.
How about Dwight Howard getting the start here in the second half over JaVale McGee? His activity paying dividends in that second quarter. Him and Rondo and the Lakers starting that second quarter on a 17-1 run here as the Joker picks up his fourth foul here.
Unbelievable.
Physical play, and that's what Dwight Howard brings, frustrating offensive players.
Howard was a difference maker, and LeBron James rewards him. Flying high, Dwight Howard. Year 17 to year 16 in the NBA. Turning the clock back a little bit, those two.
See what between Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and his limited minutes in that first quarter, and Anthony Davis, they have kind of taken the Joker out of this game right here. He's just not engaged with these four fouls.
Little sidestep by Jokic.
It's so tough. It's like in the Tim Duncan days. You have to get by a great defender like Tim Duncan. And if you do, you're met at the rim by David Robinson. The length right here is so tough for the Lakers.
Lakers with 17 assists now, only 3 turnovers. And big games turned in by James and Davis already. And Howard was a difference maker on that big run Reggie talked about in the second quarter. That 17-1 start for the Lakers. Here's Millsap. Jokic now with 4 fouls. Murray with 3 fouls. Millsap with 3 fouls in that first half as well. Those 3 spent a good portion of that second quarter on the bench. Grant can't hit. And it's Davis with a rebound and no whistles right there.
Look, they don't want to give Jokic his fifth foul. If he did not have 4, there's a lot of contact down there.
I think you're right. That the officials had that look on their face, that nothing to see here kind of look. Murray on James. Bullet pass to Caldwell. Pope steps into a 2.
Nothing wrong with a nice 18-footer. We get so enamored with the three-point line. Nice job there by KCP with the pump fake.
Feels like for whatever reason, the mid-range, it always makes a comeback in the playoffs, but especially the bubble playoffs this year. Seen a ton of 2s. Two-man game, Grant and Jokic. He's got James on him now. Here's Murray with Howard on him. Just shakes him loose and rattles home a 3. Nuggets know they're going to need a big second half performance from Murray and Jokic. 18 points for Jamal Murray. His second made three. James finding Davis. Millsap on him, gets by him. Davis scores it. He's checking with Allie LaForce. She had a chance to visit with Michael Malone. What do you allow, Allie?
The 32 free throw attempts were certainly troubling, but he said, fouls aside, I want to stick to our original game plan, which is get back in transition and make them play in the half court. There's no denying the Lakers, 19% of their possessions come in transition this postseason. That is by far the most of any team in the postseason, so he doesn't want the team to get caught up in the foul calling and forget about that. He also said offensively, we have to stay in attack mode and put the pressure on their defense.
All right, good stuff there, Allie. Harris in attack mode, lost it off his leg. That was a nice play by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, forcing that turnover. Denver had 7 turnovers in the first 6 minutes of the second quarter. Protected the ball well in the last 6 minutes, had none as James misses a three. Denver, they'll be happy with those shots the rest of this half. LeBron rolled his left ankle, but has shown no signs for the worse here of that. Good find by Murray. In the corner is Grant. Can't hit the three.
It's those shots that they're going to have to make here in this series to be successful. Those wide open corner threes from dribble penetration.
Denver just 5 for 16 from behind the arc. Murray, the only Nugget with multiple threes in the game. Grant draws the LeBron James assignment. Backs his way in, they clear it out. And Grant making it tough for him. Shot clock down to 9. All LeBron here, he spins, LeBron goes. Harris for three, no. Danny Green, I beg your pardon. And now it's James, gets the offensive board, he'll reset it. Anthony Davis along two. And finally secured by Grant.
Good D by Millsap that time, stunting and not letting Davis drive by him, forcing the tough jumper.
Millsap gives it up. Three-pointer is up and in for Jamal Murray. That's his third three-pointer made. Murray now 7 of 10 shooting. 3 of those are threes. He's got 21. Davis gets it deep. Oh, tough shot. Howard right there. And Dwight Howard with the putback.
What an efficient evening for Dwight Howard. 9 points, 3 rebounds. Very solid at the defensive end here.
It's going to be on the sideline. That'll be Laker ball.
If I don't see that Rondo, I need that Rondo. Get low, get lower, get lower.
Get a stop, Blue, get a stop.
Can you show me our pick and rolls? Why is it so crowded? They pulling over heavy.
Hey, I got Pope. Mo, take Caruso. Mo, Mike, you take Caruso.
Appreciate those guys wearing the microphones for us. Saw a conversation with Miles Simon. I mean, McGee hasn't played yet in this second half. It was Dwight Howard who got the start. Always active on the bench. Got a couple of rings with the Warriors. 11-point game. Turnover for the Lakers. Now they give it right back to Nuggets as Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is fouled by Harris.
Denver just can't seem to get out of their own way. Every time they have a chance to creep back in this ball game, silly turnover.
Doesn't it feel like one of those games you look up, it feels like an 18, 22-point lead, something like that, but it's not. A lot of missed free throws for the Lakers as LeBron bullies his way in, gives it up. Nice find. Davis hits a three. Anthony Davis on the find from LeBron James.
That shows you the versatility of Anthony Davis, being able to knock down those threes.
Harris, little pull-up is good. Yeah, that was the first made three by Davis. LeBron James now 9 assists in the game. He's 15, 6, and 9.
Grant is just out there working so hard. And LeBron still able to find open players on his team.
Danny Green in the corner. He's open. And Howard kept that one alive. Right back to Green. Here's LeBron now. Gives it up. And Dwight Howard scores it. Boy, what an impact he's had. I give you guys credit. You called it early, and you asked Frank Vogel about Dwight Howard. He had that wry smile. Like, Both you guys thought Dwight Howard could be an impact player in this series, and he has been tonight. Davis hit the deck. Millsap gets it right back. Oh, he missed the layup. A golden opportunity for Denver. They can't hit it. Now Caldwell Pope hits a three. LeBron set him up beautifully. Double-digit assist totals for LeBron James now.
I think this usually happens this way. A missed layup at one end and a 5-point turnaround here by the Lakers. Little alley pass.
Should have been a switch on the pin down with Jokic. You can't let big fella get a little bit of space like that or he'll knock the jumper down every time.
Nice save over there by Caldwell Pope. Rondo with 6 on the shot clock. Calling for Howard. Here's Davis now. Shot clock ticks down to 1. Long three is up. Desperation. And it missed the rim. Shot clock violation.
It's probably Denver's best defensive possession right there all game long. Now you've got Michael Porter Jr. on the floor here, who's really struggled tonight. 0 of 5, 2 points. The third leading scorer in this restart for the Nuggets.
And with Rondo on him, it seems like you get him cutting to the basket or closer to the cup.
Hitting those cutters and not letting him kill him in different ways.
Yeah, because most big fellas can't keep up with him, so they space him. And if he doesn't want to shoot, he has a wide open passing lane. Again, the lateral quickness of Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee didn't allow that tonight early on.
Jokic coming off a 13-assist game and a triple-double against the Clippers in Game 7. Rondo goes right by Porter and finishes with the left hand. Oh, impressive take to the basket by Rondo. Jokic scored 11 points in his first 11 minutes tonight in the first quarter, then got himself into foul trouble. Sitting on 18, two-man game with Murray. That's a staple for the Nuggets. No secrets there. There's a bullet pass to Craig, runs into a wall with Davis. And now Monte Morris has to take a tough shot. Jokic there to follow, no. And that'll be Denver ball, and Jokic is down. Might have taken one across the chops.
It's not fair, B.A. and Reggie. And again, Denver, they can handle themselves well against any team in the league. But look at this. You get past one 7-footer, and there's another 7-footer waiting for you, or a 6'8" athletic guy going up for the shot. And so for Jokic, that doesn't have another big man in there with him right now, he's taking the worst for the wear when you talk about getting physical inside.
Lakers defensive rating in the regular season was number 3. They've been excellent here in the playoffs as well, and Caruso is going to be called for the foul on Jokic. Alex Caruso competing in his first NBA playoffs in just his 3rd year.
Yeah, he's very fortunate that wasn't number 5. The hook there by Jokic. Officials know he has 4.
Or number 6.
Kuzma steps on the baseline, so 7 on the shot clock. Denver ball here. Nuggets down 20, and the Lakers looking as dominant as we saw them in the final 4 games of that series against the Rockets.
A lot of this damage has been done, sorry Chris, with LeBron on the bench.
Yeah, LeBron sitting with 15 points and 11 assists. Jokic just hammered inside as LeBron returns to the floor. And let's see, they're going to get Davis or LeBron James. It'll be on LeBron here.
But you know what, guys, since the first day of training camp, this is who I thought the Lakers would be. The first thing you heard Anthony Davis and others talk about was defense. We know Frank Vogel's history, whether you've seen him in Indiana or other places, what he can do with a great team.
Jokic knocks down the first. Chance to remind you that the NBA playoffs on TNT brought to you by American Express. Now is the time to shop small and support the places you love. And by Taco Bell. Order ahead and pick up your favorites at our contactless drive-thru.
Well, you look at the numbers here. Jokic is about ready to have 20. Murray has 21. So your 2 stars are getting close to their average. But what's made Denver so successful throughout these playoff runs is there are others. And there are others that struggled. Gary Harris tonight, 2 of 7, 5 points. We talked about Michael Porter Jr., the 3rd leading scorer. As Anthony Davis, my goodness, Rondo is just putting on a show out here.
The lobs are everywhere, Reg. Boy, that was special right there. And now Rondo forcing that turnover. Here goes Caruso out of the pack. Gives it up. Rondo, bounce pass. Davis patient, and a two-handed jam. The Lakers just destroying Denver in transition. Opening up their biggest lead now at 22.
And Rondo, 7 assists off the bench for Frank Vogel and the Lakers.
He's had at least 4 lobs. And now Jokic, that's going to be a block on Davis. Jokic has scored the last 7 points for Denver. Boy, these two, wow, they've got something special. You know, Rondo, Davis, good find that time on a bounce pass. Yeah, you see that? I saw that, J.R. Smith. We all saw that.
But see, Webb, you know what that also does, too? It takes a lot of pressure off LeBron to always be the facilitator and have the ball in his hand.
Yeah, and if he keeps up this way, Reg, you rest him and you let him, you know, take care of that ankle that's not that bad, the way he still has a 39-inch vertical up there. But you're so right, and it allows other guys to come in and get a plain rhythm and not just have to be inserted in a tough game later on.
And in Frank Vogel's ideal world, it's 18 and 18. 18 minutes on the ball with LeBron, 18 off. Obviously, that changes depending on the game, but when Rondo was out, a lot of that load went to Alex Caruso. It's a different dynamic. Rondo had back spasms, missed the entire round 1 against Portland. Now he goes strong again, misses. Davis trying to keep it alive and comes away from the pack with it, taking on 3 Nuggets. And a little turnaround jump hook is good. Man, what a performance by Anthony Davis. He's got 30 now, 13 in the quarter. Right now,
I woke somebody up out there.
Hot.
There you go. Let it out. Let it out.
Look at those assists. Rondo and LeBron James, 18 assists. But what's key in that? 1 turnover with those 18 assists from those two. That came from LeBron. Rondo has not turned it over yet. Been a big Game 1 performance here by the Lakers. After losing Game 1s in their first 2 series. P.J. Dozier getting some run here for Denver to start this 4th quarter.
Michael Malone looking for a little spark here. Dozier has not played a lot in these playoffs, but this is a guy that Michael Malone they trust. Guy 6'4", 6'5", could probably either guard position.
Excellent defender. Rondo open for 3. Oh, he's having a night. Rajon Rondo, you give him 6 days off, and he has come in here firing on all cylinders. And Rondo called for the foul. I believe that's on Rondo. Yep. So that'll be Denver ball. Just underway in this 4th quarter. Talked about how good of a second half team the Nuggets have been, and then the Lakers just handed to them in that 3rd quarter. They go plus 13, hold them to 20 points in the 3rd quarter. Morris hangs, and the final Plumlee gets his own, and Plumlee sticks it back. Check in with Allie LaForce. She's got more on Rajon Rondo. What do you have, Allie?
Just a little bit on his assist numbers, because we keep talking about all the records that LeBron is breaking for career playoff numbers. But if over the next 6 games, since he's already at 7 in this game, he averages 7 assists per game, he will be 6th all-time in playoff assists by the end of the next 6 games. So we have a little bit of the history books on the line here.
Yeah, and just making a huge impact on all facets as Porter hits the 3. I was very interested to see how experience was going to pay off in the bubble. And Chris, you talked about it the first game we did here, the bubble being the great equalizer. We're seeing a lot of young players having great performances.
Yeah, we are.
Not in those hostile environments.
Yeah, we are, because they're skilled, number 1, and they've been working a long time in practice. But as you know, Reg, without that tangible momentum, without somebody saying, hey, rookie, you don't belong here, without going home down 0-2 and hearing your fans kind of murmur, it's a little bit easy at times.
Nice reverse dunk by Plumlee. That was a nice find by Porter.
Looks like Porter Jr. is a little bit more engaged offensively here now to start this 4th.
Well, with Jokic and Murray on the bench, Porter free to roam. Here come the Nuggets again. Dozier gives it up. Grant on the take. Grant with the reverse. Missed it. And now LeBron, head of steam coming, and Dozier fouls him. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'd foul him out there too.
Yeah.
Dozier has seen those highlights by LeBron.
Dozier in just his 3rd year out of South Carolina. James. And now they get the switch with Plumlee on him. Dozier there to help if need be. Kuzma cuts. LeBron lets him go. And now LeBron step back 3. And Grant with a rebound. Lakers have pushed it to a 27-point lead. Caruso so active, almost forced a turnover. Grant passes one up in the corner, steps in for a 2. He's got it. He's going to draw a big assignment this series. Usually does. Moved into that starting lineup in the Utah series. Draws the best perimeter player on the other team, and he's got LeBron duty here in this series. Here's Morris again for 3. Nope. And there's Porter with a board.
And just look at this lineup for the Lakers. You could say Morris is playing center, but it could be LeBron playing center. It could be Kuzma, because all 3 of those guys are like size. And now they have 4 ball handlers on the floor, all except Morris. And they have knockdown shooters, so they can go tall with 2 7-footers, or they can go to this small lineup.
Well, it shows you the versatility, and that's how Rob Pelinka built this roster, to be able to play against big, taller teams, more physical teams, or what the modern day NBA is, with a lot of flexibility with smaller players and light players at every position.
There's Rob Pelinka. Got his Lakers in position now. A franchise with 16 NBA titles, 41st conference finals appearance. They've never lost to Denver in the NBA playoffs, by the way. They've matched up on 6 occasions. And this proud franchise who had a 6-year drought. Frank Vogel in his first year, LeBron James year 2. Groin injury last year, missing the playoffs. They're back as the top seed. And the combination of LeBron and AD is formidable as it gets. Both first-team All-NBA performers this year.
You think about what he's done, having the best record in the Western Conference, in my opinion, the toughest conference, and proven over the last few years, and being out the playoffs that long. No team has ever been out the playoffs for that long of a time and came back. Just a great job by LeBron and his concentration all year long.
Yeah, not only a 6-year drought, but coming back as the #1 seed, and now an opportunity to perhaps go to the NBA Finals with 4 more wins. Good steal by Morris. Here's Porter. Freight train coming, lays it in with a left hand. And you see right away the incredible athleticism game. By the way, guys, let's take a look at the upcoming conference schedule. ESPN tomorrow, Celtics Heat, 8:30 Eastern, Game 3, and it's 2-0 Miami.
I was going to say, with the upcoming schedule, and I don't know if you saw the dog out there. The dog looks sad. I think the dog was a Denver fan. I just wanted to make sure he got his props watching his favorite team.
It does beg the question, who let the dogs out? Oh, put up, bump. Put up, bump. Rondo turning the corner, a little floater, up and over the backboard. Okay, give him an H. Wow.
So I guess what they say about playoff Rondo is true.
Porter, there's a foul away from the ball, I believe. Courtney Kirkland with the call. How about the angle on this shot?
Oh, man, you're right. This is some Pistol Pete, Larry Bird behind the backboard.
Come on.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's great camera work right there.
Great crew here. Been here for 2+ months now as Plumlee is fouled. Our guys led in the truck by Tom Heights, Andrew Greathouse. Been a pleasure being with our terrific TNT crew. And the ESPN crews are here. We're sharing the same hotel. We're having lunches and getting to know our colleagues over at ESPN.
We got the legend Doris Burke behind us, okay?
She can go get 20 right now.
Right?
Yes.
Working with PJ Carlissimo and Mark Kestisher, so
DB
great to
in the
see
house.
them. Been a very interesting experience here in the bubble. One we'll never forget. All that's gone on, and the fact that the NBA has been at this point able to pull this off with no positive tests at all. Knock on wood. It's been an amazing experience. Give them a lot of credit.
Definitely, the planning, the execution.
That was a lane violation by Porter Jr. on that free throw.
Rondo, there's another bounce pass to Davis, and he'll finish. Good catch by Davis. That's the second overhead bounce pass that Rondo has delivered in this game. Just having a huge night. Davis is 35 and 10 right now. Up top to Plumlee. Here's Rondo again, but in control. Davis. Got Jeremy Grant on him. He'll just pull it, knock it down. 37 for Anthony Davis. Reg.
So easy.
Also giving them the tools, the knowledge, the mechanisms to create real change through the program that he calls more than a vote. We've talked a lot about it. The latest mission, which features a commercial narrated by LeBron, is called We Got Next. Its goal is to help staff polling locations with young activists, specifically at polling locations in Black communities, to keep the high-risk older workers safe and at home and encourage young people to vote and be active. So far, you guys, we have seen the bubble as an environment that has made real change across the country. The league created a social justice coalition. 20 teams have committed their arenas or their practice facilities for voting-related activities, and the jerseys from the first round of games with the social justice messages on them, they're going to be auctioned off, and the proceeds are going to benefit the social justice reform. So it's really cool stuff happening here in the bubble.
And it shows you the guy with the biggest voice and the face of the NBA, how big of an impact that he's had on the younger generation in such a pivotal time in our country with so much, civic unrest and social injustice. Just a great job by LeBron James, just getting everyone on board. I love the polling places, either at arenas or practice facilities. That is huge.
I agree, Reggie, and I think to all those that said, wait a minute, don't do anything, come back and plan, I think you have your answer. And this is just the beginning of what he, and it's more than the vote, wants to do in our communities.
Some sloppy play here, back and forth. By the way, I hope you had a chance to catch the Arena show earlier tonight on TNT that preceded us. Outstanding work led by Kerry Champion and company. That was excellent. Draymond Green involved in that as well, Isaiah. And the Arena, presented by Tractor Supply Company, continues Sunday. Draymond Green, Isaiah Thomas, Kerry Champion. Coverage begins at 5:30 Eastern right here on TNT. They put in a lot of work, a lot of time, and great effort. Outstanding program.
So, C-Web, you think that LeBron is a little bit upset that he didn't pick up the hardware this year of the MVP? Giannis, we were talking about earlier, back-to-back MVPs. You think he's upset this year? Because LeBron's had an unbelievable year. Finished second in voting behind Giannis. Think he feels a little bit slighted?
I do, because he's the ultimate competitor, but I think he likes being slighted,
right?
So that he can keep that chip on his shoulder, because to him, right now, he's not playing for MVPs. His legacy is win or bust. And I think actually a little bit, he'd like to win it without winning MVP and saying, hey, you guys had an MVP. I got another ring.
And I think there is another MVP he wants, and that would be a finals MVP, because he would be the only person in history to win finals MVP on 3 different teams. Think about that.
Yeah, there's Dozier going strong.
That's ridiculous.
Like, no one's done that.
No, that would level out the 4s too. He's got 4 regular season MVPs. He's got 3 finals MVP awards in those 3 championships, Cleveland, Miami, and now trying to do it here with Los Angeles. We remind you that the NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Microsoft Teams. More ways to be a team. And by TikTok. Celebrating you, it starts on TikTok. 4:42 remaining in this 4th quarter of Game 1.
And I would say, Kawhi is in that same boat as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's won Finals MVP for San Antonio, Finals last year for Toronto.
Plumlee on a nice leave. That was Dozier who set him up. Plumlee on the lob.
But we all know where the Clippers are now.
Ooh, man.
Where?
Well,
I know what you want to say.
I'll let C.J. McCollum and Dame Lillard.
What Dame say? What did Dame say? I missed it. I've been off my social media, man.
Porter is fouled. I've never known Reggie to not finish what he started.
I'm so glad Reg didn't have. I'm glad Reg didn't have social media, boy, because who knows?
Oh, there would have been hitmen after me.
Oh, man.
There would have been contracts out on my life.
Oh, man.
It's been a long night for the Nuggets here tonight. Here's a bit of good news, and Nuggets fans know this well, as this very resilient Nuggets team has found its way to the Western Conference Finals. Twice in the Utah series, they were down 30 points in 2 different games at one point in the game. Down 30, twice.
That was Utah.
And then down 3-1, they came back and won that series. And, of course, they had multiple double-digit deficits against the Clippers, down 3-1, and they came back in that one as well. So,
and let's also say this, too. This is only game 1.
Right.
It's one game. They got smacked in game 1 versus the Clippers and came back and evened the series in game 2.
And you know what? If it leads to a bowl appearance, we're in for it.
You know it.
He's got some special talent, this guy. Rookie out of Oregon at 7'2", son of the great Manute Bol. Chris and I watched him in the NCAA tournament. The last tournament that was played, he was injured, just filling it up from behind the arc.
I told you then,
7'2".
I don't know why teams injure. I told you then, this guy, boy. And he has all type of game, and his length should make him a good defender.
Look at this length.
Pass it over him.
I remember Dana Altman saying he is going to be a star, and we'll see if he ends up that way. McGee back on the floor. Remember, he got the start here tonight. It was Dwight Howard who made the biggest impact among the center duo. Porter comes up short. 21-point lead, Lakers. J.R. Smith getting some run here tonight. These are valuable minutes for guys like Smith, Jared Dudley, Quinn Cook on his way in, but the Laker vets, the 30-something crowd. LeBron James 15 and 12. Howard goes for 13 points, had a couple of blocks. Impressive on the defensive end, but Rondo had the game of the night outside of Anthony Davis as far as bench impact. Rondo was excellent tonight in all facets of the game with 7 points and 9 assists.
And veteran teams should be more plugged in with attention to detail. We saw with our coaches mic'd up at halftime, Coach Frank Vogel said, what do we have to worry about this team? This team answered in unison, second half comeback. So I know that Denver can come back and play, but the fact they put the whole league on notice that they could come back. So expect teams to make sure they value their leads just a little bit more against this Denver team.
Kuzma, and the push-off will be an offensive foul. Saw LeBron just peel off and on his way to the locker room, maybe get started on his treatment. 2:48 to go. LeBron James, 15 points, 12 assists. Points created for him, over 40 tonight.
Probably get early start on treatment on that little roll of that ankle. Probably put it in some ice. Elevate it a little bit.
That was the left ankle in that first quarter, and just as we're worried about him, watching him, he has a couple of big jams. There's Bol. I'm telling you, he had some stuff. Bol, little turnaround.
You're not blocking that shot. You are not blocking that shot.
Unless you sit on someone else's shoulder.
Quinn Cook. See Troy Daniels on the floor, the former Laker with the Nuggets here, as J.R. Smith not afraid to get one up. He's got a three-pointer in the Western Conference Finals. Played just 6 games for the Lakers, did J.R. Smith. Dion Waiters in street clothes tonight. Waiters injured, not able to go, as Troy Dixon, I beg your pardon, Troy Daniels Smith and Waiter's additions to this team. Daniels can light it up. Out of Virginia Commonwealth, played for Shaka Smart.
And was on this Lakers team early in the year.
Well, the Lakers impressive tonight. They were dominant outside of their game ones. They lost game one against Portland, lost game one against Houston, ended up coming back and winning 4 in a row in each of those series. They've had 6 days off. Frank Vogel in his first year sees his superstar Anthony Davis go for 37 tonight. 10 rebounds as well. Jared Dudley comes away with it. Kuzma will fire it. He's got it. 3-pointer in for Kyle Kuzma. So take a day off. You get on the every other day rhythm. And Denver will try to answer a game one loss against these very talented Los Angeles Lakers. And that guy right there, Michael Porter Jr., could be a key component to the Nuggets if they have a chance in this series. You know what you're going to get out of Jokic and Murray, typically. They're looking for that third man. He's their third best scorer.
Well, what we've seen in this fourth quarter from Porter Jr., he needs to do that through the first 3. I just thought he was very passive to start this ball game out.
Porter had a 28-point game against Utah in game 2. He made 6 threes in that game in a loss. Well, as I mentioned earlier, every opposing coach of the Lakers, the emphasis is to keep them out of the paint. Make the Lakers a perimeter shooting team. And as much as you talk about it, Nuggets finding out it is very difficult to do because they force their way in the paint. They get a lot of baskets in transition. And tonight, especially in the second quarter, Chris, they got to the line a lot.
Yeah, just the dominance imposing their will. And Reg, you mentioned it. They have bigs that can run the floor. 16 fast break points tonight for LA, only 7 for Denver.
And 54 points in the paint. And give credit to the Nuggets. They had 50 points in the paint as well. So
ooh, JaVale McGee fired up a 3-pointer. Made 3 in the regular season. As Dozier gets the dunk, that'll take us to the finish line here. So another dominant win by the Los Angeles Lakers. They go to 9-2.